Let's dive into the most jaw-dropping, top-trending WWE news picks that are guaranteed to blow your mind, including the best and worst of Raw. Paul believes in Cody Rhodes over Roman Reigns. Why CM Punk was originally removed from WWE 2K24. Dominik Mysterio needs to be taught a lesson he'll never forget after going too far on Raw. Randy Orton is the greatest of all time. Randy Orton broke down in tears, fearing retirement. Why did Paul Heyman call Roman Reigns and The Rock? Let's dive right into it. Let's start with the best and worst of Raw. The first show of WWE Raw after Elimination Chamber was tonight's. It had a lot of big moments that got us ready for WrestleMania, but not all of them were good, and there were some worries along the way. So without further ado, here are the most important good and bad things about a packed WWE Raw. From Gunther's direction for Mania to another great Drew McIntyre promo, this show had a lot going on. Number 3. The best thing is that people love Mommy. Rhea Ripley is still a babyface, even though she hasn't officially turned. At the start of WWE Raw, she was greeted like a superstar. Fans quickly stopped booing Dominik Mysterio and started cheering for Mommy. When her fight with Becky Lynch started, Ripley seemed to go back to being a big bad guy. But that didn't happen. The WWE Raw crowd cheered for her and even booed the man. It will be interesting to see how this connects to another match she has with Nia Jax. However, during Mommy's rivalry with Lynch, the differences between good and bad may have become blurred. Both girls may be better off going with who the fans choose. If Rhea Ripley does turn in the future, she will have to leave the Judgment Day and ditch Dominik Mysterio. The seeds had already been sown. Wouldn't it be a wonderful plot after WrestleMania? Number 2. Worst. Gunther vs. Derby Dom. Speaking of Dominik Mysterio, WWE Raw seemed to hint he will be in the Intercontinental title scene at WrestleMania 40. This isn't ideal, as Gunther should protect his belt against a strong babyface rival. Even a multi-man ladder match wouldn't do service to the Ring General's incredible rule. There are several talents who would benefit from a singles match against Gunther at Mania, with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable being among them. They were referenced by the Big Austrian on WWE Raw, with the signs leading towards multiple contenders for the Intercontinental Championship. Hopefully, the contact between Imperium and the Judgment Day was a ruse, and Gunther has a singles match at WrestleMania. Gable would be the best choice, especially after he stated his purpose tonight. Number 2. Best. An amazing street fight steals the show on WWE Raw. Gunther's participation on WWE Raw threatened to deliver a match not worthy of him at WrestleMania 40. However, his Imperium stablemates had the best fight of the show. Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci won an epic street fight against the New Day. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston continue to show their greatness. We saw some crazy table spots while the match ended with Kaiser blasting Woods into a chair in the corner. A massive win for Imperium, whose stock continues to soar. WWE Raw has hosted some incredible tag team action lately, so hopefully the ever-consistent tag division will get some WrestleMania attention this year. A possible 4-way showcase match featuring the likes of Imperium, DIY, and others sounds exciting. Number 1. Worst. Theory and Waller aren't long for this world. The tag team of Grayson Waller and Austin Theory has been a good step for both guys. However, following Elimination Chamber, it looks like the two of them might break up. The Aussie talk show host didn't help Theory when Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes struck him at the premium live event before lying about it on WWE Raw. Expressions from both guys suggest a split is coming, and that isn't the best thing for either star. With a squad so strong, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller could easily get lost in the shuffle. The latter lost to the American Nightmare quite easily in the main event of WWE Raw, so there may be a clear cap for him as a single star. Number 1. Best. The world title scene is on fire. Following Cody Rhodes' main event win over Grayson Waller, Paul Heyman stopped his party. The two continued to have a talk that was way less emotional and more heated than their promo a year ago. Rhodes didn't back down from Heyman's threat that the Bloodline would hunt him down if he didn't drop his challenge to The Rock. This made him look great ahead of his next battle with the Great One and Roman Reigns. Whenever it is, Cody is ready. Meanwhile, the World Heavyweight Championship battle between Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins is back going. The Scottish Warrior cut yet another great video, continuing to fire shots at CM Punk. He also addressed the Visionary's role in the Cody vs. Bloodline saga. It's very interesting to see the two world title matches at WrestleMania be tied together in so many ways. It makes WWE Raw and SmackDown feel like a connected world, with different stories being told at the same time. Why was CM Punk originally removed from WWE 2K24? CM Punk, previously pulled from WWE 2K24, will be featured in the future game as the voice of the voiceless. He will join other superstars via Season Pass. Punk's early exclusion may be due to his involvement in AEW Fight Forever, since his likeness was still contracted to Tony Khan's organization. After fans called out the creators, Punk posted a long reply on social media stating, "I know that 2K has released a full roster for the new WWE video game. I'm not in the game, now I understand being a little late to the party. returning to the WWE and not being able to be put in the game, but they recently released the DLC teaser, and there's no sign of CM Punk. He added, "And I know this because the fans are going crazy. They're asking where I'm at and how come I'm not in the video game. So I decided to make it my thing to try to get to the bottom of this because the fans are demanding that I be put in this video game. Now, I'm not a video game guy, so I don't know how fast they can do this, but like I said, we're going to try to get to the bottom of this, and I'm going to tag them here just to put some pressure on them. Let's put some feet to fire today, ladies and gentlemen." Dominik Mysterio needs to be taught a lesson he'll never forget after going too far on Raw. Dominik Mysterio deserves what he gets on the road to WrestleMania 40 after making a rude gesture on the most recent episode of WWE Raw. Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley, her WrestleMania 40 opponent, got into a heated argument on the most recent episode of Raw. During Lynch's promotion, she verbally insulted Dominik, which she found offensive. Dirty Dom ended up yawning at Lynch's promo as a rude gesture to the man. Becky Lynch is perhaps the biggest female star of the last several years. The man is among the first 3 women to headline a WrestleMania. She is the first woman in WWE history to be on the cover of the 2K video game. Lynch is a seasoned veteran of the Squared Circle, who has done everything in the industry. Dominik has done some horrible things in the past, but he crossed the line by yawning during Becky's promo on Raw. On the road to WrestleMania 40, Lynch and Ripley will undoubtedly face off more than once. Lynch must confront Dirty Dom at least once before the show shows to show him the value of respecting a ring veteran. A brutal onslaught against Dominik is possible in the coming weeks. It will also convey to the Eradicator that Lynch is not playing around. Who knows what the future holds for Mommy and the man? Randy Orton is the greatest of all time. A WWE Hall of Famer recently explained why Randy Orton is often regarded as the greatest wrestler of all time. Bully Ray, the aforementioned Hall of Famer, is not afraid to speak his honest opinions on the industry. A wrestler of Orton's prominence need no introduction, as he has been one of the most well-known names in wrestling for the previous 2 decades. Though he spent the most of his career as a heel, the Viper is now widely regarded as a cherished veteran with plenty left in the tank. His performance in the 2024 Men's Elimination Chamber match earned praise as he came within inches of victory before Logan Paul played spoiler, allowing earned McIntyre to win. It's logical to believe WWE is preparing for a big US Championship bout between Logan and Randy Orton at WrestleMania 40. On a recent edition of Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray stated that while wrestling judgments are subjective, he feels Orton may be the finest of all time. When it comes to in the ring, when it comes to actual professional wrestling, the psychology, the registering, the selling, the story, Randy's as perfect as it comes, Bully said. There's not many when, it's hard to compare wrestlers sometimes, because in baseball, you've got your stats, you've got your RBIs, you've got your home runs, you've got your strikeouts. You can compare apples to apples. With wrestling, it's so much different. It's very much of who's the best. It's very subjective. But I can tell you, as a wrestler who has seen just about everything, when the boys talk, Randy is top of the food chain. Randy Orton broke down in tears, fearing retirement. In an interview with the New York Post a few days ago, the Viper said that doctors had advised him that he could have to retire from wrestling due to spinal difficulties. Orton said that he broke down after the chat and stated that there was nothing wrong with males exhibiting vulnerability. And based on my symptoms and how bad my lower spine was based on the MRIs, they were like, you know what? You've had a great career. You got to start thinking about your life past wrestling and being there for your kids. This surgery isn't the type of surgery you come back from and remain an athlete from. I was in tears. I think it's over for grown men to cry, and I was a little baby. I was so sad that it was being taken away from me. Given how well regarded Randy Orton is, the day he ultimately retires would be one of the most emotional evenings in wrestling history. Do you believe Randy Orton will battle Logan Paul at WrestleMania 40? Leave a comment below. Why did Paul Heyman call Roman Reigns and The Rock? Paul Heyman brought 2 iPhones to WWE Raw this week. Following Cody Rhodes' huge reveal, the wise men kept Roman Reigns and The Rock on rapid dial. Contrary to common opinion, the American Nightmare claims to be chasing the bloodline. Social media is rife with conjecture about what Heyman would have said to the tribal chief and the Great One. One may expect something like, "We need to be cautious since Cody Rhodes is refusing to comply." Also, he might be reporting his and Cody's post-main event conversation to the 2 members of the bloodline. It's worth noting that Roman Reigns and The Rock will be on SmackDown on Friday to continue the build-up to WrestleMania XL. The Tribal Chief will face the American Nightmare for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. This showdown has been years in the making. Reigns beat Rhodes in their first WWE Championship match in the main event of WrestleMania 39. And lastly, a member of the Bloodline believes in Cody Rhodes over Roman Reigns. A member of the Bloodline made a daring comment about Cody Rhodes, professing to believe in the American Nightmare. The member in question is Paul Heyman. During the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw, Heyman confronted Rhodes and urged him to retract his challenge against The Rock at the Elimination Chamber in Perth. Furthermore, the American Nightmare will battle Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania 40. Heyman took to Twitter to comment on WWE Hall of Famer Bully Ray's poll, which asked fans if they believed in Rhodes. But Wiseman responded with a forceful declaration. "Dear Bully Ray, I believe in Cody Rhodes. But that doesn't cloud my analysis that he will never dethrone my tribal chief, Roman Reigns," Paul Heyman shared. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more wrestling content, and see you in the next video.